Well done on your first coral. Now we're going on to the second one. So I chose one that was more simple and one that's more challenging. So this one's on the challenging side. So I've picked my 3 colours that I think you can have more than 3 colours. But I've noticed that the picture we have a yellow, a light green and a dark green. And again, you can press harder with the greens to create kind of a darker effect. So that's fine. So I'm going to go in with my lighter colour first. And then I'm going to go over darker. So most of these tubes have yellow in them somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over most of the tubes very, very lightly with yellow, because each one of them has a tone of yellow in them, at least. So my pencils are nice and sharp, so I can go lightly, because if they're blunt, it's a lot harder to press lightly when it's blunt. So I'm just going to go over all of them really, really lightly with the yellow. And you can see I'm colouring in the same direction. Don't try to colour in one direction then colour another direction, because it won't create a kind of a soft look at the end. Because we're trying to layer these colours up, which you won't be able to do if you colour in all different directions. So there we go, I've just put a base colour down of a yellow. Now I'm going in and having a look. So I'm going to go in with my green first. I'm going to start with the back tube here. So that doesn't seem to have any green around it at all. It has kind of an outline of a dark green, but we'll do that with dark green. This one here, the tube in the middle is quite green. And then there's bits around the outside. So there's like a bit that goes down here that's a lighter green. And there's a bit that goes up this bit here. So we're blending these 2 colours together. Remember, which we did before at the very, very start of the PowerPoint, where we're blending colours over one another. There we go. This little arm thing here, that has light green in it as well. So I'm going to go over the whole of that one. This one here has some green going up over the yellow here. It doesn't go all the way to the top. It only goes partly up there. So I'm always having a look back at my picture, like I've done with my first one. I'm not looking at it and going, oh, I know where the green goes on this tube. I'm really having a look every time I add a colour in or where I'm going to put it. So this one's mainly green. It's got some like weird pattern that goes up like this. I'm going to try and draw that in a little bit with my green. And that goes all the way up, including the little circle bit in the middle. And then you have the big one in the middle. So this one has kind of a weird shape that goes up like this. So I'm going to try and draw that very, very lightly with my green. So it kind of goes all the way up like this. And then it makes a weird little shape in the middle. Like that. And then it goes up round here. And then back down. So as you may notice, I'm doing it very, very lightly. If I need to add more pressure, I can add another layer, but I can't take a layer away. And colour pencils are quite hard to rub out. So that's that tube. The next one I'm going to do is this one here. So that's more yellowy and greeny, the whole tube. So I'm going to add my green over the top. This one's mainly yellow, so I'm going to leave that yellow. Same with this one, apart from a little bit around this top area here. This one here goes all the way up like this. And then it has a weird shape again. So I can draw that with my colouring pencil. And then I can just fill that in. There we go. And then this kind of leaf looking one here, that's mainly green. So I'm going to go over my yellow with my green. This one here is mainly yellow. This one here is green, partly over here. And then my very, very last tube is green just there. So you can see they're starting to get the sort of colours that they're going to be. Now I'm going to go over with my dark green in some of the areas. So around the outside of this is very green. It's mainly a dark green outline. So I'm not going to press too hard. Then you've got a dark green that goes up here. And then there's a little bit that goes around the circle there, like so. There's a little bit that goes around the outside there. A bit that goes on the outline here, like that. Around the circle there. So I'm just checking where I'm putting them. There's another bit that goes up here. And don't worry if it doesn't look that great to start with, because we're going to layer these colours up, same as we did with the first one. This one here has a green that goes around there. Same with this one. And then round this bit here. This one slightly up this bit. And I'm still not adding too much pressure, even though I'm kind of doing an outline. Don't press down really hard, because if you make a mistake, it's going to be very, very hard to rub out or get rid of. So there we go, I'm happy with that now. So what I'm going to start doing now is kind of layering the colours up. So I can go back in with my yellow and my green, and I can layer parts up. I've missed this bit out with the dark green actually. And some of this around here has kind of a small outline of a dark green as well. It kind of goes out like that. There we go. So I can now start layering up. Because I did it very, very lightly, what I can start doing now is going back over, because I definitely know that this one here is mainly yellow. So there we go, I've added another layer. This one here I'm going to go over again with my yellow. And then I can go back over with the green parts. So this one has a small shape as well that I haven't really added in. So I'm just going to add that in like so. And then the outside part here. And then I'm going to go back over with this yellow. And I'm just going to keep doing this. So I'm not pressing really hard. I'm just adding another layer to blend them two colours together. So I'm going to add another green part in here. Adding another layer. There we go, and you'll see that the colours start to merge together a bit more. And there we go, and we've got a little dark green outline there as well. There we go. So I'm just going back and forward with my colours, and I'm going over certain areas to get another layer. Because then you'll see that the colours start to blend together nicely, because they're overlapping. So this one here, up here is yellow. And you just want to keep doing this until you are happy with the colour that it's made, or if you think it needs a bit more green, or you need to press a little bit harder. So like some of these areas around here are a little bit darker than I've done them. So I could press a little tiny bit harder so that the green comes out a little bit more. There we go, and I'm still making sure that I'm colouring in the same direction. You don't want to change that at any point. So that's mainly yellow there. And you've got some green that goes up here. What I might add in there is a little tiny bit of darker green, because it looks like a bit of a shadow. Same with this bit up here. It goes round the corner up there. There we go. This one I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. This one has a little bit more of a darker green actually going around here. Just going to put that in. So I'm just going swapping back and forward with my pencils and going across every single tube and having a look at the image to the left of me on my laptop and double checking it's the sort of colours it needs to be, or if there's certain areas that I haven't done or missed out on. So this one here I've missed, that it's supposed to have an outline of like a darker green around the outside, which I missed out the first time. So just add that in. And then this one needs to go over a little bit more yellow. Make sure you're keeping your pencils nice and sharp, because again, you won't be able to apply pressure very well if they're blunt. This one I'm going to add a little bit more darker down here and across this little bit here. And this one has a bit more of an outline there as well. Same with that one there. So you can see it's starting to become more like the picture, because we're starting to add in the different tones and the different shades that it needs. So I can even start pressing down a little bit harder with my yellow to get kind of a deeper yellow in some areas, because some of it may need darker yellow. So you can create different sort of colours with the darker and lighter yellow. So I'm happy with that. Like I said before, if you have a white at home, you can use a white. It's kind of the way that it blends with a cotton wool bud, is it blends with a white pencil, with colour pencil. So you can do that over some of the tubes and blend the colours together. It'll just create a nice smooth surface. But again, if you don't have a white pencil at home, don't worry too much, because as you can see before I've blended it, it looks quite nice anyway. So don't think your work's going to look awful if you don't have a white pencil, because that is not the case. So I can blend some of these areas in with my white pencil. So I'm literally just going over some of the areas that has the outlines, and I'm using my white pencil just to blend the green into the yellow a bit more. And then if I'm happy with that, I can carry on. Or if I'm not happy with some of the areas, I can go back over with my darker area, my darker pencil. So I'm going to leave it like that. There we go. So that is the last one. So by now you should have 2 on your page and you should have finished.